Good morning. I am answering a Toast Me on Reddit. And I think Toast Me's are where we're trying to support and uplift people who are going through a hard time. And the one that I'm answering today has to do with something that is so relatable to so many people in one way or another with their parents. And it's about wanting to please our parents and not being able to do so. So she states that after 2 decades of trying her hardest to please her mother, she had to face the realization that nothing she did, short of becoming her, will make her feel proud of her. And so she's feeling hurt and frustrated and could use some support. So the first thing I want to say about that is parents cannot give to their children what they cannot give to themselves first. And so I would guess that your mom likely struggles to feel good enough in her own skin. And so even if you did become her, I think she'd still have a problem giving you that validation that you're looking for. And so I would actually say, don't even try to be her. Just be you and realize that it's a really, really tough thing. But again, people cannot give to other people what they can't give to themselves. At least not from an authentic place. And even if she might be narcissistic and kind of comes across as like having all her stuff together and that she thinks she's all that, narcissists really feed off of people giving them compliments and validation, and that feeds their ego because they don't feel like they're good enough. And so they need that in their life, and they need to put on a certain front versus just kind of taking a more balanced and relaxed approach. So narcissists struggle with their self-worth as well. And I just want to give you kudos that so many people experience this, whether it's trying to please their parents when it comes to their job, what they do in school, how they live their life, the partners they choose. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a painful thing to learn, but we have to give ourselves our own validation because we are the experts of our experience, not even our parents. And our parents, they have their own stuff. They come from their mom and dad and whoever else, raised them and whoever raised them. They come from a generation of people where they could only give as well what they had and the things that they knew and the emotional health that they had. So, everything makes sense in context. She's probably doing the best she can, even if it is still a painful process to be in relationship with her. But I will say, I think it's important that you're able to look at your own self-worth and say, what do I think about me? And what traits do I really admire in people? Like, who are the people that I admire and what do I love about them? And then just seek to emulate that in the ways you can. I mean, nobody's perfect, but for me, when I'm talking about how I feel about myself and if I feel like I'm doing good enough, I'm looking at the traits that I find valuable, and I'm not looking at what other people think is valuable, because the way that they live their life and what they find value in is going to be different than me, and that's totally okay. But I think it's important that you start to ask yourself those questions, like what is it that I like about certain people or people that I think are making a positive influence in the world? Like, what is it that I admire about them? And then, seek to be those things, because those are who I think your true healthy self is saying you are, because that gives you excitement and joy. And if you're struggling to do that, and to be that person you want to be, maybe see a therapist or a coach or a mentor, somebody in your life that can help you work through whatever barriers may be preventing you from doing that. Because sometimes when we struggle with different traumas and different other experiences, we have a hard time being the person that we want to be. So anyway, I think the fact that you're actually stating this question means you have kindness in your heart. You're seeking to want to make your mom happy, which comes from a good place. I just hope that that's not the thing that leads your life, because you are so much more than what if you make your mom happy. And again, you have no control over that. That's all about her. It's her stuff, whether or not she's happy with you or not, because you could even be the most amazing golden child ever, and someone could still struggle to see that. And that's because of their own way of viewing the world and their own trauma. But anyway, not to get into that topic, I just want to give you kudos and say, I really love that kindness in your heart, and I hope you're having a wonderful day and able to kind of put this into more perspective, because this is something I think a lot of people struggle with. I've struggled with it myself, whether it's come to my parents or just trying to people please anybody. Definitely a recovering people pleaser over here. So I hope you have an awesome day, and thank you for putting that out there for support.